VST Reattachable EVR Balance Breakaway Reattachment Instruction. Be safe. You're dealing with a potentially highly explosive, highly flammable liquid and equipment that can take your life. 1. Turn off and tag the power to the dispenser. The dispenser must be de-energized prior to service to avoid personal injury. 2. Barricade the work area to block vehicle access to the dispenser. 3. Close the dispenser shear valve prior to performing any service work with the hanging hardware. 4. Drain liquid product from the hanging hardware set into an approved container prior to replacing any hanging hardware component. Use the VST repair kit part number VST BRK100 when reattaching the breakaway. This repair kit contains enough components to repair 5 breakaways. The repair kit contains the retaining sleeve, 2 shear washers, 2 O-rings, 1 lithium grease packet, and instruction sheet. Use the VST reattachment tool VST BRK100 when reassembling the breakaway. Inspect both safety breakaway halves for damage that may have occurred during separation. Include looking for external damage to the product and possible missing alignment pin. If damaged or missing parts are detected, replace with new product. Ensure that the retaining sleeve is placed on the breakaway half connected to the whip hose before reassembly. Prior to reassembling, be sure the mating parts are undamaged and clean. Replace 2 O-rings with those provided in the repair kit VST BRK100. Remove the large O-ring on the CARB side hose of the breakaway. Remove the small O-ring using the pick provided in the kit. Lightly lubricate the O-rings on mating connections with petroleum jelly or other suitable lubricant. Do not use pipe dope or thread sealant. Use the large O-ring provided in the repair kit to replace the outer O-ring on the CARB hose side of the breakaway. Apply a liberal amount of lithium grease provided in the repair kit completely around the mating diameter surface of the CARB hose side of the breakaway. The grease will need to cover the entire surface that will slide into the mating end of the breakaway. Use the small O-ring provided in the repair kit to replace the inner O-ring on the whip side of the breakaway. Use the plastic pick provided in the kit to replace the old O-ring. Utilize the VST Breakaway Assembly Tool, VST BAT100, to reassemble the breakaway. The tool is used to provide appropriate leverage for the ease of reassembly of the breakaway and to secure the breakaway during replacement of the shear washers. This can be done without disassembling the hoses from the breakaway halves. Push the button on the breakaway assembly tool to spread the end clamps apart to allow the 2 separated breakaway halves to fit between the top and bottom clamps. Slide the top clamp of the VST breakaway assembly tool behind the hex on the breakaway half connected to the whip hose. Slide the separated bottom half of the breakaway, with CARB hose and nozzle attached, onto the bottom clamp of the VST breakaway assembly tool. Align the shear ring grooves away from the reassembly tool for ease of insertion of the shear washers. Slowly squeeze the VST breakaway assembly tool trigger to bring the breakaway halves together. Carefully align the 2 breakaway halves. Place the alignment pin from the breakaway upper half into the hole of the inner poppet on the lower half of the breakaway that is connected to the nozzle end. Continue squeezing the trigger of the VST breakaway assembly tool while guiding the alignment slots together to finish reassembly. Note, once the 2 breakaway halves come together close enough for placement of the shear washers, do not squeeze the tool trigger any further. Unnecessary pressure on the tool could damage or break the tool. Once the 2 aligned halves are together, place a shear washer into each of the shear washer grooves, 2 total, from the repair kit. Ensure that the shear washer is completely seated into the groove before moving the retaining sleeve into place. Wipe off excess grease after installation of the shear rings. After the 2 breakaway halves are reattached, remove the breakaway assembly tool by pressing the button on the tool to allow the plates to release. Reposition the retaining sleeve to the groove between the 2 halves of the breakaway. Give the reassembled breakaway a strong pull to verify that it is properly connected. If successful, conduct the functional tests. VST Reattachable EVR Balance Breakaway Functional Testing. Purge air from the system by pumping 1/10 to 2/10 of a gallon of fuel into an approved container. Meter creep check. Verify there is no meter creep. Checking for meter creep will verify the integrity of the connection. Nozzle shutoff test. Check the nozzle shutoff action by dispensing fuel into an approved container at least 3 times to assure proper automatic operation of the interlock rod. To test, operate the nozzle and submerge the spout tip in fuel until the fuel level covers the vent hole. The main valve of the nozzle automatically shuts off when liquid covers the vent hole at the end of the spout. The nozzle is not designed to operate on gravity flow. Verify that the fuel flow stops when the nozzle collection sleeve is decompressed. Resistance check. Measure the resistance between the dispenser outlet casting and the tip of the nozzle spout. Use an electronic multimeter set on the high range of the ohm meter function. Resistance should not indicate more than 70,000 ohms per foot of hose. Finally, inspect each hose joint connection for liquid leaks. Then make the proper adjustments if necessary. Once repairs are complete, each repair must be logged into the maintenance log at the site. This completes the reattachment procedure for the VST EVR Reattachable Balance Breakaway.